the sunlight, staring at the moonlight. Been thinking all night of you. Could I be caught up in a dream or another fantasy of a time when it would be me and you, me and you.
Lost in the moment, know it's crazy, but it seems that these feelings have control. Now they got a hold of me. Sometimes I wanna go, but your heart won't let me leave. A hand I wanna fold, but I hold it close to me. I guess I'm gonna go, it's gonna be, it's gonna be. My heart you went and stole, and your gaze it brings me peace. My heart you went and stole, and your gaze it brings me peace. Forever on a stroll, a lonely road it's gotta be. For me and you. Another day has come, now I guess it's gonna go. I stop to reminisce as the memories they unfold. I stare to the abyss, a place that I can go. Girl, I'm always gonna miss the love that I can show. Just wish that I could be there, right by your side. Girl, I'd love you for forever and cherish you with pride. And do it for me and you. For me and
Yo. What is up? What is up, YouTube? Do a little audio check here, make sure we're good. Alright. Alright, looks like we're good. Alright. So, just wanted to come on here, do another little live stream tonight. We're gonna go with the next episode. And tonight we are going to be going with the importance of networking. So, networking, which I believe is probably one of the most important rules. You know, I've had a lot of artists that have tried to come through and record in the studio, and they always try to hit you with the, I don't need to pay, I got talent. And a lot of people seem to think that talent is at the top of the list when it comes to trying to build a music career. And me personally, talent, I believe, is only about 2% of the business. So, networking is probably going to be the most important. You know, it makes me think back to when I was younger. My grandfather used to tell me it's not what you know, it's who you know. So, yes, it is very important to have skills to help you get through life. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be a day where you are going to have to call on somebody to help you, whether it be with some kind of business or whether it be with some kind, even just music in general. It's very important to have a good network because you can have the talent, and even if you have the talent and you have your own studio, so say that you've made your own beats, you've recorded on top of those beats, you've mixed, mastered, engineered everything yourself, maybe even went out and shot your own music video. And you would think at that point that you are pretty self-sufficient and you got everything under control by yourself, that you don't need nobody to help you when it comes to getting your thing done. But at the end of the day, even doing all of that stuff by yourself, you're still going to need other people to help you along your journey. So if you don't have a network, then you don't have anybody there to offer you shows, to help you with opportunities with working with other artists and building your resume up. A lot of building a successful music career is working with artists that are actually, artists that have actually made it, getting them big, important features. So if you don't get those big important features, a lot of times a lot of artists are just going to look at your resume and they're going to be like, okay, so you've worked with a lot of people that I don't know, big whoop de doo. Once you actually move into working with bigger artists, that's going to gain you a lot of respect, and actually dropping songs, legit drops, not just dropping on like Reverb Nation or SoundCloud or even YouTube. Once you actually start dropping on like Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. But in order to get to that point, to where you get that recognition, the most important part is actually having a decent network. So at the end of the day, if you want shows, you have to know the people that's going to be able to offer you those shows. So the main thing to me is to always have a good network. So if you're trying to build a music career, you should always have social media. You should always at least have like a Facebook, an Instagram, maybe a Snapchat, you know, just any kind of social media to not only be able to share your stuff, but to actually network with other artists, to network with promoters, with venues, vendors, just all kinds of people. The more people that you have in your network, the more likely that you are going to be able to be successful in doing what you're doing. So, one of my buddies told me one time that, shows come easy. And I had just started making music at that point, and I really didn't believe that because actually at that point I had never even been on stage. And he kept telling me, he's like, shows come easy. And once I actually started performing, actually got on stage, started building my network, like shows really just have come easy. Like I don't really look for shows. I get people that hit me up all the time talking about, "Hey, can you come jump on stage for this show or that show?" And each show that you go to, you should use each show as a networking opportunity. So when you go perform a show, holding the crowd for your set, for your 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is, that is only about 50% of why you should be there. The other 50% of why you should be there should actually be to network with the other artists. When you're there and you're doing them shows, when you're not on stage, you should be checking out all the other artists set, being there to support them, hype up your section of the crowd, just like you would want them to do when you're on stage. And then when you are before and after the show, when you get the opportunity to actually chop it up with the other artists, add them on social media, and the more you do that, the more you'll realize that shows will come very, very easy, because when you get 50 artists on your network, you're going to see everything that they're doing. And if you see them post a show, you can always hit them up. Hey, is there still room on this show? Or the promoters that actually put the shows together, always add them on social media. That way you can see when they're putting other shows together. So you should always, always, always be networking, no matter what you do, because at the end of the day, talent's only about 2% of the music business. I think the other, say, 96% is going to be networking, and then maybe another 2% that's opportunity. The biggest main part of building your music career is going to be networking with other people. The more you network with other people, the more opportunities you're going to come by to do shows, to work with other artists, and eventually, once you get out there and you've networked with so many people, and you're dropping your music, you're sharing their music, people's gonna start seeing all this music coming from your pages. They're gonna be paying attention to your pages. So, and it all starts with good networking. So my recommendation is always have social media pages. You should always have an artist page, personal page. You should always have either like a Facebook or an Instagram, at least one of the two if you don't have both. The more social media that you're on, the better off you're going to be, because you're, catching networking from multiple platforms at that point. So you might see a show on Facebook and then maybe be scrolling Instagram and have some artists networked on there, and you see them posting a show on there. So the more social media that you have, the better off you're going to be. But the very, very main, most important thing is that when you're out there and you're traveling around and you're doing shows, or you're going to a studio, or just whatever you're doing, always be networking, because you never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to end up working with. So I highly recommend, to more than talent, like, yes, talent is important. If you don't have the talent to do what you're doing, you know I understand that. But if you have the talent, don't just fall back on that talent, thinking that that talent is everything. That talent is going to take you where you need to go. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's good to have talent. But if you don't have the networking skills and the opportunity behind that talent, you're not going to make it anywhere. You're just going to be a local artist for the rest of however long you're doing this. So really, it is very, very, very important. Probably the most important step to trying to build a successful music career is the networking behind every artist. Every artist that I know that is successful, and I know quite a few, that's always been the number one thing. Because when I meet bigger artists, or even when I go to concerts and pay for that meet and greet to actually meet successful artists, I always ask them, as up and coming artists, what would be your number one piece of advice? And 9 times out of 10, they always say network. Build your network. Your network is going to be the most important part of your music career. That's what is going to actually find you all those shows and all the opportunity that comes with that. So if you get an opportunity to go chop it up with somebody, definitely take that opportunity. And when you're out and about and you're doing shows, take every opportunity that you can to, hey, let me add you on one of these platforms. Like talk to the other artists, support the other artists, because at the end of the day, when you start supporting those artists, you never know. You might do a show with somebody and not even think anything of it because you're thinking, well, this guy's out here doing the same thing I'm out here doing. But then you turn around and that guy actually blows and makes it somewhere. So, and then when you are working with people and you support people, 9 times out of 10, the people you support will return that support. There are going to be people out there that won't return that support, but those those are going to be everywhere, no matter what you're doing. So, as far as it goes, building, even if you're building a business, you know what I mean. You want to have a good network of people to be able to talk to, and even just people older than you, or people that are in the business, that's been in the whatever industry you're trying to get into. It's always good to have those people that you can call on for advice, and all of that starts with networking. So really, I just wanted a quick little live stream tonight. Wasn't really trying to make this a long one, but I really wanted to come on here and just give you guys a holler and talk about the importance of networking, because I feel like after you've done recorded a song, and you're ready to take that next step, you're ready to get out on the stage and put your stuff out there and put yourself out there. I really feel like the most important part next would be the networking aspect. Start networking with all the promoters you can, all the venue owners you can, all the artists, just everybody that you can network with and add to your network. Do that. Take the time to support the venues that you go to. If you go to a venue to do a show, try to bring a little bit of money with you to buy a couple drinks. Support the venue, because those venues, they don't have to sit there and put these artists on like they do. And I know some venues out there that really go above and beyond and give artists chance after chance after chance, even to the point where I've seen that they themselves have really screwed themselves over in the process. So, and at the end of the day, you got to understand that these venues, they ain't sitting here and making an arm and a leg. Like, if they come in and they bring a headlining artist, you got to understand the amount of money that they paid to get that artist to come to that venue. So if they're sitting there and they're trying to charge the opening acts, you know what I'm saying? Like, do your part. Pay your fee, sell your tickets, and support that venue, because at the end of the day, it's every show for a venue owner is a gamble. Like, they can sit there and have the biggest artist that you can think of, and if the show's not promoted well and the show's not like put out there the way it needs to be, and that don't translate to ticket sales, then they just paid $10,000 to sit there and make maybe $2 or $3,000. So every show is going to be a gamble. And as an artist, when you're hopping on and opening up for bigger acts, and you need to understand that you're not always going to make money either. You might sit here and pay a few $100s to sit here and open up for a big artist, and then get your tickets and not be able to sell all of them, or you even have to understand and calculate in the gas money and stuff that it takes to travel to a show. So you're not always going to make money. And doing shows, even for just the exposure, sometimes is the way to go. So, but it all starts with a good base to a good network. So, that's tonight's spew for you guys. The importance of networking. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that one next. I feel like anybody that's going to be trying to start a music career, trying to, get out there and be heard, that's going to be probably the most important part to get you started and get you going down the road. So always, always, always work on your network above all. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Like always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you guys can stay up to date with what we got going on. As I said, everything can be found on the KC of SOSMG page on Facebook. And then you can also find out what's going on here on YouTube. So tomorrow night, Indianapolis, Indiana, we're going to be down there tearing it up. So anybody that wants to show up and show out and have a good time, 21 plus, let's get it. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Make sure you hit that bell icon. And once again, this is your boy, and we are out.